wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and
All right, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. It's so wonderful, so happy to be here today with you. No matter what time, no matter what day it is, it's a great day. Why? Because you're able to view the program, which means that you're alive, you're healthy, you feel good. And I say you're healthy because you got your eyes working. Got your eyes working. So everything else you got to make happen on the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy Jones, and to remember the Talk Beat Jones, we're on the air every Wednesday. We come on live from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. on Wednesday mornings. You can also see us on Sundays from 4 to 5 on 15.2. And, of course, don't forget about that YouTube. That's YouTube TV 33 on demand. Of course, you can go there 24 hours a day, 365. You can pick up the programs. And when you go there, go to videos. When you go to videos, that gives you the latest shows that's been put out that day or that week, okay? And again, once again, we want to say thank you for being here. It's going to be a wonderful program, as we always try to present you a wonderful program, a little bit different each week. That keeps it like a little spicy for us. So again, tell your friends to like us, to love us, and again, let them know they can tune in right now. And soon, very soon, we're going to have this number so that you can call in and you can talk with Billy E. Jones on Talk Beat Jones, as we have my special friend from Oakland, California. That is Mr. Leo Brazil. Mr. Leo Brazil is a former two-time council person at Oakland, California. Also, he's a retired 35-year defense lawyer and one of those original Black Panthers back in the day. And, of course, he's on the Reparation Committee out of the California area. And I could go on and on about Mr. Leo Brazil, but right now I'm going to bring him in so that he can just quickly get his voice, and I'll take back over. But Mr. Leo Brazil, we want to make sure we got a good connection. Are you there?
I am there. We can barely hear you.
All right. We're going to turn us both up a little bit there so that now we can hear you. And I'll be in the microphone when I'm talking directly to you. Otherwise, if I'm talking and you can't hear all that well, don't worry about it, because when I come to you, I'll be bringing you a fresh question or asking you a comment, okay?
I got it.
All right. So right about now, we want to talk about, did anyone see on the debate between the Vice President, Ms. Harris, and the former President, Donald Trump, did you notice when she walked over and shook his hand, when he went back towards his podium, did you see him take his right hand and kind of wipe his hand off? Next time you watch that debate, watch what Donald Trump will do once he has shook hands with the Vice President, Ms. Harris, and watch what he does when he goes back towards his podium. Watch how he slickly take his right hand and slide it down his back side to kind of wipe it off. As it is when you see when the Vice President and Joe Biden are calling and saying some wonderful things about how it is not really wonderful to have violence with this political situation, people trying to take out the presidential nomination, etc. So far, the target has been Donald Trump, but heck, the target could be anyone. Could be Ms. Harris, could be the President Biden. So we want to understand who is actually putting out all of this talk to have all these people upset. That is, people who have some type of mental issues. We talked about that very, 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 very early about this rhetoric is going to fire up some of these folks who have mental issues. And it hits the right button and make them say, I can do this. I will do this. I will stop this person. And it is being effective. Now, who is actually putting out that type of language? And who has been the person that consistently is now saying, I'm the bully, but they are hitting me back. You tell them stop, they put their hands behind the back, and the bully comes over and pushes in the chest again. And they're saying, oh, they're still starting it. Now, is this a situation in which everything is being set up for if this election is not going the way the Republicans want it to go? Is this setting up the undercurrent for violence to overtake America after the election? Is this setting up the base of those folks who came out for January the 6th to become more enthusiastic about what they will do if the election is not in Donald Trump's favor? Could this be the setup? Is all the rhetoric that's being put out here is that if we don't win, here is the problems, here is the situation, here is why it's a fraud? Is this dangerous for America? Is this dangerous for America in terms of the political procedure, in terms of how we select our presidents and our different people in the political office? Is this dangerous? So I want you to understand, I want you to think about that, family. And if you choose to, you can email me at bj46978@gmail.com, and you can give me your thoughts, you can give me your feelings, and I will incorporate that into the Talk Beat Jones show on future issues. But right about now, I want to go into one other little something. You know, the city of Detroit is all fired up behind the Detroit Lions. But there is another team that they thought was way out of the game, and that's the Detroit, what is that baseball team name? Detroit Tigers. Yeah, Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers is only about a game or a game and a half out of the wild card position. Now, you do know that any team that gets into the playoffs, even in the wild card position, has a chance to go all the way. So let's keep pulling for those Tigers to go all the way, get that wild card spot, and then let's go. Now, you know, apparently the Detroit Lions stumbled a little bit, and they have their first defeat. But we're still enthusiastic behind our Lions, and we're still saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. So, family, we're not giving up. We're still enthusiastic because I believe that the team that's going to move on is going to be able to lose at least 3 games this year. So remember, we got, to me, at least a three-game margin that's still not going to stop anything. But Leo Brazil.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, as you went to bed last night, did you think politics, or what did you think? Not about being your age, anything like that, but did you think politics?
Now, what is the question again? Are you breaking up?
Okay, did you think politics last night?
Did I think politics?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think politics, constantly now that it's the political season.
And just to get an update, you are an official defense attorney. So I want the folks to know that when I'm asking Mr. Leo Brazil some questions, and he says, I don't want to answer that, that's because Mr. Leo Brazil has that legal mind, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't cross the lines in his answers. So that's the reason that Mr. Leo Brazil will do that. Mr. Brazil, what is your evaluation of Mr. J.D. Vance?
J.D. Vance?
Yes, Mr. J.D. Vance. What is your evaluation in terms?
Job.
Huh?
He's doing a good job.
Okay, for now, for us who do not follow politics all the time, but we've got to consider voting, how can you as a person describe to us who don't know what Mr. J.D. Vance's job is and what is he doing to show he's doing a good job? So help us understand that process of who he is and what he's doing.
He is the vice presidential nominee of the Republican Party. He wants to be the vice president to Donald Trump, the second most powerful man in the country. That's who J.D. Vance wants to be. And he is campaigning for that position right now.
That's good. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so why and how do you think, why was he chosen, you think? Why was
Co-
why was J.D. Vance chosen to be the vice president nominee through Donald Trump?
Because he's a hillbilly.
Man, you got to come on, give me some more than just that. Oh, come on.
Well, you say, why was he chosen? I'm putting it as succinctly as I can.
I don't
The
need you to
man is
be.
a
I don't need you to be.
hillbilly. He adds the hillbilly element to the rich man's ticket.
My brother. Okay. Now you speaking on that intellectual tip. Okay. I got to have you break this thing down because I watch the hillbillies, the Beverly Hillbillies, etc. So don't do it just like that. Okay. Break it down in terms of simplicity. What does that mean? What does he represent?
The man wrote a book. He's a best-selling author, and his book is called The Hillbilly Elegy.
Yes.
And he is writing about his background of being a poor white boy from the Kentucky and West Virginia highlands and everything, who has moved to Ohio. He has now become the United States Senator from Ohio. When he left the hillbilly hills
Okay.
and went to the Marines, came out of the Marines and went to college on a po' boy scholarship, went to college at Yale University and got a law degree, moved to California, got involved with high tech, and then one of his high-tech billionaire friends sponsored him to run for Senate in Ohio, and he did, and he won. And Donald Trump picked him to be his vice presidential nominee. He is on the Trump-Vance team. His name is James D. Vance, but he uses the initials J.D. That's his name,
Okay.
J.D. Vance,
All right.
senator from Ohio.
Now, what is his style while he is being the vice president for Donald Trump? What is his job and what is he doing as the advance man or the person that will lead the conversation that's kind of rough for Donald Trump? What is his job and what is he doing?
Donald Trump is crazy, and therefore, when he says crazy things, the press jumps on it. They've been doing it for 9 years, and most of us are sick of it. Every day, Donald Trump for 9 years. Why? Because Donald Trump knows how to get the attention of the public. He comes out with his WWE or WWF
WWE.
tactics,
WWE.
smashing somebody on the head with a chair or doing something outrageous. And people find that very entertaining. So Trump has been entertaining us for the last 9 years. Now, when he says something or does something to get himself in trouble, it is the vice president's job to take us down a rabbit hole away from, to distract from what Trump has done that is negative and hurting him. And J.D. does that very well, like he's done with the Haitians. The Haitians simply focus the attention on the borders. That's where the Republicans want to talk from, the immigration issue. So, again, black people become a convenient distraction all the time on anything they want to do. Well, in this case, they got Haitian black people, and those black people are, in the minds of people, somewhat savage and do strange things. So to get the border issue on the table, J.D. attacks the Haitians in his Ohio state of Springfield, Ohio. He could say, oh, well, my constituents are calling me and they're complaining about these Haitians here eating their dogs and cats. And I don't know what to do about it. The only way I can bring this to attention is the media to pick it up. So the media won't pick it up, so I got to make up a story or something, which he's admitted he made this up in order to get their attention. That is, take their attention off of Donald Trump and his felonies and bring it over here to the border issue that we want to talk about.
Okay. And in doing that, how is Mr. Vance being perceived by the public?
Well, he's been perceived as an articulate young man, not an old, inarticulate man like Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be the heir apparent to the Trump's dynasty. If Trump loses, JD will be able to step up and take over because all the trailer park boys are going to identify with him as being their leader. And because he went to Yale, he's articulate, and therefore he can explain things to the intellectual classes, like his Yale law school buddies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let us take a pause and go to commercial break.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and
Come bring me up some more so you can hear me. Yeah. All right. Now, we had a little technical issue. I think started talking about Donald Trump, and I got a little some little tick in my voice or microphone or whatever it may have been. But now we're back with the Talk Beat Jones. And remember, the Talk Beat Jones, we're on air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 11. Of course, if you missed it, on a Sunday from 4 p.m. on 15.2, you can tune us in and check it out. But again, tell your friends to like us and to love us. Bring me down. Yeah. We changed things, so we want to get this. There we go. So now we're going to try to see if we can work this back into the situation here. Now, we were talking about J.D. Vance, and what I want to do is try to highlight the fact that we had a situation with the Vice President Harris. And so by being in a position to be a younger person with a much older person that is going to be the president, you place yourself in a position to be like the vice president, whereby Trump may not make it. His age may be caught up with him, and he just may not make it. And so then you're elevated to becoming the president without even having to go through the people voting you in. That's a possibility there. But as we're going along and we're seeing what is happening, all of this tremendous aggression that is being spoken about, when they talked about if Trump don't win, there's going to be a war. It's still being indicated that if Trump don't win, there's going to be a big issue. There's going to be a big problem. So we want to understand, Leo, how does the people prepare as I'm listening to folks saying they are getting ready for all the things that are being set up. They're getting ready for these things. So this may be a very, this may be a very, very interesting election after the election goes on. How do you see it, Leo?
Well, again, I think your question is confusing me because
the question,
the idea of J.D. Vance is set to be the heir apparent, just like Kamala is the heir apparent. When Joe picked Kamala, everybody said, well, why is he picking her? Especially after she busted him doing that big primary when they had about 17 Democrats running. Out of all those Democrats that was running, why did he pick her? Well, he picked her for all the reasons that we see right now. She's smart. She's hardworking. She's held some very high positions. She's totally qualified. He could see that, but she just couldn't get her message through. So what happened? The good Lord showed you what happened. He said Joe, for whatever reason, was pulled out. He said that Joe said, I'm not going to get out unless the good Lord tells me to get out. Well, the good Lord told him to get out, and guess who? He had his person already trained and ready. With 3 years of experience under her belt, she is ready. So now you got to unleash her. Well, that's the same thing that Trump is doing right now. He's setting up J.D. Vance, that if he ends up possibly going to jail in the state of Georgia, I hope, and is not in office because he loses the election, then he's passing the baton to the next generation, to his son's generation, that they'll be ready to keep that Trump party going because he's killed the Republican Party.
Okay. Now, so we understand that. Where are we going in terms of how to protect the vice president moving forward? Do we have to initiate any special, more Secret Service or more these folks that protect the candidates? Is this a situation where we got to deal with them again? Got to lose something?
I'm not understanding the question. When I hear vice president, but I don't know which person you're talking about.
There is only one
vice president.
There is only one. There is only one vice president.
Right.
And that's Ms. Harris, right? Hello.
I'm waiting for the question.
I said there's only one vice president. I don't understand this.
Right. That's Vice President Harris.
Yes.
But there's vice presidential nominee.
I didn't
Walsh.
mention. I didn't mention.
There's vice president nominee Vance. So say the name so that I can understand which one you're talking about.
Wait, hold on. There is no which one. There is only one vice president. There is only one vice president. Period.
I know that.
There is no other vice president. The president that is Biden, the vice president is Ms. Harris.
Sir, you're not listening to me.
I heard you clearly.
I cannot hear you. What you're talking about is a whole sentence. The only thing that I can hear you say is vice president and a bunch of mumbling. And so
is vice president. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to end this because we're having too much back and forth and can't hear stuff. So if you can't hear, then we're going to have to end this situation because it's not good for our segment. So I'm going to ask the question again. Are we going to have to increase the security for the vice president?
Increase the security for Vice President yes, all of the people have to have increased security, all their family members and everything. That's why the Secret Service is saying, I can't protect all of these people and this many folks, Kamala's family, Joe Biden's family, Trump's family,
okay.
all these other people's families. We don't have enough troops to do that.
Okay.
And we need some more money. And the Congress got to give us the troops. And they say, well, we'll be back and give it to you for next year. And they say, no, we need it right now. So all those people are in danger right now.
All right. Now, we have a situation in terms of the cost. Who's paying for all of this protection that Trump is having as he's moving around and going to his golf places, etc.? Who's paying for all of that?
The taxpayers.
And have we had, they said they've never had a situation like the situation with Donald Trump. So as they're increasing the protection, how is this affecting the amount of taxes or the amount of monies that the people are having to fork in and having to pay for this protection? How is that allocated? Is this strictly coming out of the budget that's already issued to the Secret Service or the protection persons, or what?
There's a budget like you have a budget. You cannot spend money you don't have, and you cannot spend money unless Congress allocates the money. Congress has allocated the money for the Secret Service to protect all of the people that the law requires them to protect. There's so many more. Barack and all of the former presidents and their wives, they all
Hold on,
and that's all in the budget.
Hold on. However, and I agree with that as such, we understood that the family, etc., but that's only extended to a certain period of time for ex-presidents. There's only extended for a certain period of time for ex-presidents to have all of those persons protected as such. We're speaking of right now when they went out and they said they're going to go on the campaign trail, there was X amount of dollars allocated. Now we have them in terms of going over the budget. Now, anytime you have more folks issued into the organization, that's going over the budget. Is that right?
Are you speaking to me? I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, Tim, turn him off. Just turn piping down. Okay. So, family, what I'm asking here is, when you have a budget, if your budget is $10,000, keep it simple. If your budget is $10,000, and now you find that that $10,000 is not going to cover the expenses that now you're saying we need to have, how is that are they just putting that in place now and saying we'll give you an IOU? Or do they have to get the money first before they can say, well, Donald, we have more people to take care of you? That's the question. That is the question. I heard the person from the FBI speak as he had an opportunity to talk, and he got up there and he went on and on and on and on about the various different things that the FBI, that they needed, Secret Service, what they needed, why they needed it, and why they needed this thing done now. There were at least 4 or 5 different issues in terms of what he needed to have extended or allocated more money for the different services that they needed to expand. Okay? So that's what's happening right about there. So what did we talk about? Where and how does this happen? Are they going to have to wait? Because if the election is going on now, and they're still going to be doing some of these outside rallies, etc., that means that they've got to expand their workforce. They've got to expand their services. All of those particulars cost money. How are they going to pay that budget? How are they going to expand that budget? Is there something they have to do? Is all I was asking. Because they're saying now we're going to do something different. Well, did you have the money allocated to expand your protective services? Do they have to wait for Congress? Or how is it done? That's what the question was about. So, but we're having some technical issues in terms of Mr. Leo Brazil in Oakland, California, being able to hear the conversation. I really don't understand it. I'm listening to the shows, and this was one that today we're having an issue, but we're going to get ready to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to bring you more of the Talk Beat Jones, and we're going to talk. And in fact, we're going to clear the line and see if we can have you call in and talk on the Talk Beat Jones. All right.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and
This is LaWanda.
This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Mattered. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and
All right, this is the Talk Beat Jones. Once again, I am Billy Jones, and we're going through the process of letting you know we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m., and of course on a Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. on 15.2. That's 15.2, and YouTube, TV33 on demand. When you go to TV33 on demand, YouTube, go to videos. And when you go to videos, you'll be brought up and shown the latest programs that's being put in queue for you to view on YouTube. Once again, I want to thank you for being with us today. Whatever time, whatever day that you're watching us, we're sending out our love for all of you. That's right, for love for all of you. And that's what we're going to do on the Talk Beat Jones. You know, I was trying to get together some things, some thoughts about the idea that they're going to have to expand the protection. And I'm looking at how is that done? How is the budget? Do they just say give them more folk and we'll settle the budget later? Or are they going to have to continue going through the process of just what? How do they expand the services if they don't have more money? or is it something that they just do? I'm kind of confused about that part because I don't want anything to happen to any of our candidates, be it the Republican Party or be it the Democratic Party. It's a process that in America we're looking at the process. They're saying, well, they're doing all of this talk that's firing up people. Let's go back real quickly without trying to give you the facts and the figures, etc., and look at the American history and how many various different presidents have been shot at or shot. This is nothing really new. There's been a time we've gone without having an assassination attempt or actually an assassination during the presidential time or a sitting president. But we've had it happen. And was the language a process that fired those persons that were willing to take out the candidates back in the day or take out the sitting president back in the day? You know, we've had at least 7, to the top of my head, I'm trying to remember, at least 5 to 7 different assassination attempts, etc., in American history. Now, you can't quote me with those numbers. I'm just giving you an idea of how many it runs to. It could be less or it could be more. But we've had this situation happen. But now we've had the water temperature has been brought up to boiling. And as you see, now that it's in that position, people who are speaking that language don't want to back up. They do not want to back up. They do not want to say, okay, we can tone it down, but they will say at one point, we think that the other folk is sicking the people on us. That's essentially what is being said, that the other party is sicking them on the other party. The Democrats are sicking the folks on the Republicans. Now, come on, is that the way it works, or is that based upon the ricochet of the conversation that's coming from that party? It's almost, if you look at, I'm going to hit you and you're not supposed to strike me back. I'm going to knock you down, but you're not supposed to get up. I'm going to talk about your mama, but you're not supposed to repeat or say anything about my mama. Is that the way life works? Or are we looking at another picture? Folk, are you looking at these games that people are playing? Are you looking at all of these games that are designed to kill as many people as you can kill to go to one level, to the next level, to the next level? Are you looking at the mental aspect of sitting in a chair or wherever you are at a console with your device, and you're just using your hands, your fingers, and you're just killing folks? You're hiding, you're moving, you're killing folks. The more people you kill, the higher your score is. How is that affecting folk that are sitting there playing these games? How is it affecting our young folk that are playing these games? You know, we have the situation where folks are brought up now where you can't spank your children. They say you can't spank your children. The generation that came up and people got their butt whooped, spanked, whooped, etc., says that they are a better generation because they were taught boundaries. They were taught respect. Now that's what they're saying. The folks who grew up are growing up without getting their butt whooped. They feel that they're being respectful. They're just saying, don't touch me. Don't touch me. And how soon do your anger rise to the top if you're a person that is not used to having anyone touch you? Do you go from 0 to 100 because someone touched you? Is this one of the process of why we're having so many rage shootings where people are in the car and something is happening and they resort to want to go and shoot the folk? Have our level of not having any interactions that may have some negativity gone to the perspective now, risen to the process now whereby I'm going to hurt you badly? Is this where we are? Is the genie out the box now? Just wondering, family, just wondering. You say, what is he talking about? I'm speaking of the violence. I'm speaking of the violence and how soon folks who could act like they're all good, all chilled, can go from 0 to 100 without you even noticing it. Because what? They were brought up with the fact that they had no testing. That is, they had no one that they could go and push and pull and say, oh man, it's all good. Oh, excuse me. Now it's if you touch a bump, you got a serious problem. If you cut somebody off, you got a real serious problem. So is it the mental perspective of how we are being raised with these games and these consoles that can let you just go through and shoot, kill, fight? Is it our entertainment that is scripted to be violent? Is it the fact that our athletes who are doing things on the athletic field have the opportunity to now express their individuality when they're making plays or doing things they think is crowd worthy? Do you remember when the athletes were doing things, they would make the plays, and they would act like, oh, that's something we do all the time. All the time. Now it is everyone have the ability to be that personality, to develop their own celebration style, to embarrass the other team. I don't think it's to embarrass the other team. I think it's like the games are so hard. The games are so hard that when you make a play, you are celebrating. You are feeling your oats. You are feeling wanting people to know, I did this. I made this happen. I'm the person that went and made them not score or advance or do whatever. And I'm happy. And we celebrate the celebrations. But back in the day, if you were a player and you actually went through the process of demonstrating that your happiness, the other team marked you for injury. Marked you for injury. Fellas, ladies, back in the day, if you were a baseball player and you were at bat and you did something and made a particular play and you had a way to show up the pitcher, the next time you came up to bat, that pitcher was going to lose control and may have a 90-mile fastball under your chin. That's the way the game was played. Now you got to shake it off. You got to shake it off because every guy on every team is willing to show you their joy. Every woman that's on a team is willing to show you their joy. And folk who are very, very highly agitated, very, very disappointed, they are willing to show you how agitated or how disappointed they truly are. That's the nature of where we are, family. So I'm just asking again the question, has the excitement level been ramped up by the speeches of the candidates? Or is it that you have a candidate that is making certain statements in a style that is being combative. And I think you have to realize that if there is something going on that affects us as what we're doing, and I extend my olive branch to you to tell you that we're happy. We're sad that it affected you, but we're happy that you survived, and give you our well wishes. And you turn and you say, it was a very nice call. Very nice call. But the bottom line is, I don't have time to be a friend. I don't have time to extend my gratitude. I don't have time to say, yeah, we're working together on this issue. No. You said it, you extended it. Let's move on. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to shake your hand on it. Is that extending the idea that this is a do or die type of situation running for office? Is this a do or die that I'm telling my base folk that we don't have time to try to be friends with the other folk? Is this the time that we're telling our base that you want to bowl your shoulders up and get ready for the fight? Fight, fight, fight. What does that extend to? What does that extend to? Is that getting into the trenches and doing it the, quote, right way? Or is that walking in line and bumping people and knocking people out your way? Is that where we are? Is that what the encouragement is? Look at what is happening and then think for yourself. Is this country working to be put together after our election? Or is this country being conditioned to carry that chip, to carry that I don't accept what we said is our American tradition of how we vote? The vote came through. I don't accept that. My base will not accept that. And we will fight, fight, fight until we are declared the winner, even though the system that is put in place said we lost. Never admit defeat. Never admit you're lying. Now, if you know who has that particular philosophy, as long as I do not admit that I'm lying, my lie is good. And that has worked, and it's still working, because they said if you tell a lie long enough, you'll get people that will believe that lie and will not believe the truth. And if everything that comes across, you got to lie for it. And everybody understand that you're going to lie. You're going to embellish the truth. All you have to do is look and listen on the assassination report by the former President Donald Trump, and how he says that situation went down and the shots that was fired. Carefully listen to how Donald Trump tells you how that situation was dealt with. Just listen. You'll hear Donald Trump's version, and then you hear the Secret Service and the other folks' version. Now, to me, I thought it would have come from the Secret Service folks, and their version is the version that is the template to how things happen. But when I listen to Mr. Trump, I'm hearing a different situation. Listen to it. Why would I change on the truth? Because I want it to sound more terrible. I want it to sound more formidable towards what they saved me from and what was planned, and how is this something that the people are fearful? Am I the change agent of the world? Is that why folks are saying that he states? That's why they don't want him to be the president? He is the special one. He's the chosen one. Is that the reason now that he says the folks are trying to take him out? But you know, on this last attempt, there will be and there is some questions about this assassination attempt. There are some folk who don't believe it. Some folk believe that this was a setup. Some folks are looking at how this was arranged. Some folks will listen to I'm not sure if that was the FBI Secret Service person that was going along very, very smoothly with all the things they've done and all the second layers, et cetera, the protection, et cetera. But when it came to the fact that he stated that this was an unscheduled situation with Donald Trump, so they didn't have a chance to do all the things they would do because they were not prepared technically for Donald Trump to be at the golf course. If they were not prepared to be in the situation with Donald Trump at the golf course, how did this man know to be at that golf course and be waiting for Donald Trump to come to a certain hole, golf hole, par hole, or whatever it's called, where he would be in range to be shot? How did he get there and was there for 12 hours in that location before anyone was able to know by finding his barrel of his gun to spot him? How was he able to be in that perimeter for all of that time and no one was able to see or discover in their pre-walks, in their pre-scouring of the area? Folk, we're talking about a person in a spot for 12 hours. Now, that's what they say. 12 hours without being observed. And you cannot say that Donald Trump just jumped in the truck or whatever they do and came to the golf course and no one knew. Before he left, wherever he left to come to the golf course, they knew where he was going. So why was they not able to get some eyes on that territory and be able to find out if it's clear? There's something in the bathroom that don't have no tissue paper with it. Something is not figuring out right, because when that question was asked of the Secret Service or the FBI person, he went to stumbling. He went to bumbling. He tried to get around that question, and the reporter came back to that question. How did the person know that Donald Trump was going to be there? How did they know? How did they know? And the Secret Service and the FBI did not know. Something does not pass the smell test. And you say, Billy, is that you? I am speaking for folks who are making conversations. I'm speaking about folks who are talking about this don't sound right. And we're going to find out, are they really going to find out how did this person and why did this person get there at that time and nobody knew it? You got a timeline of saying he was there 12 hours? Wow. And he escaped all eyes, all detection. If he knew that Donald Trump was going to come there, who else knew? If he guessed that Donald Trump was going to be there, why was he able to guess that Donald Trump was going to be there? But he knew that Donald Trump was going to be there. And with all of those folk, how could this man leave that spot, able to get into his truck and get away? Huh? And you've got the president nominee coming to that area, and you don't have it surrounded, or you don't have it walled in, and the man gets, what, 40, 50 miles away? It don't sound right. It's right, and I'm going to close out. For those who can remember, it almost sounds like Lee Harvey Oswald when they were bringing him in the tunnel with all the security folk, and you wonder, how did Jack Ruby get into that tunnel with all that security, get past the security, and was able to walk up on Oswald and shoot him dead? How did that happen? The strange things that happened. And this man gave up so smooth, so easy. But right about now, I want to leave you with that thought. This is the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy Jones, and I want to say to my guest, I'm sorry about the phone situation, Mr. Leo Brazil. We'll try it again. But once again, family, the Talk Beat Jones, we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 11. You got a broadcast on a Sunday on 15.2, and that's at 4 to 5. And, of course, you can go to YouTube, TV33 on demand, and we ask that you like the show, love the show, recommend the show, and we'll be back with you live on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. Love you, appreciate you, got mad respect for you. Talk Beat Jones, Billy E. Jones. And don't forget, on Fridays, Saturdays, I still do my Zoom on Friday, Saturdays. Love you. Have a great day. Great life. Bye now.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I